Hey guys, this is Russ and Ashley, and this is She Wolf Alchemy. And today we are talking about fake friends. When you sent me this topic, immediately what started playing in my head was TLC's um Goodbye to All the Fake People in My Life song. You've never heard that song?
I don't know why, but no. I don't know what you
Mhm. Anyways, that's been playing in my head nonstop. Even as before we started recording, as you were talking, it was just like playing in my head. So when I was just like kind of bobbling around, that was why. So this is your topic. So start us off, Miss Ashley.
Yeah, fake friends, those people who have sort of I don't know, we look up and it feels like they weaseled their way into your life somehow. And I don't know, and you have that moment of realizing they're fake. No, Russ, have you ever had that moment with a friend? Have you ever had a fake friend?
Um, as an adult, no. I've had like usually as an adult, we've grown apart. Like it's just it ran its
Mhm.
course. You are who you are. I am who I am, and it's just no longer compatible with each other. But
Mhm.
like when I really sat back and looked at it, it was like, I mean, that was always them, to be honest. Like you kind of knew that.
Yeah.
You just are no longer okay with that. Or they're no longer okay with who you are. Now, of course, in my teen years, yeah, all the time. We was all just trying to figure out rules of friendship and failing and failing.
Huh. Huh. No, hmm. Yeah, okay, so one thing I was gonna say, because you were talking about, like, friendships that just end, I think those are probably the more common. I think that's more common than fake friends, and people
Yeah.
interpret that as it having been a fake friendship,
Yeah.
when it's like, no, sometimes, people just grow apart, things change, everything ain't meant to last, it's okay.
Yeah. Even even on that, I wanna say, like, cause I was talking to actually a friend recently who ended a friendship with somebody, and same thing, they were having this, like, cause I'm just tired because they fake, and then we, like, went over it, and I was just like, cause also this is, like, the 8th time they've stopped being friends, and I was like, "Girl, this is just who they are. It's not fakeness, it's just, I think y'all are no longer compatible. That's all. She always been this. She
Mhm.
has always been this. I think you're just older and you matured, and she didn't mature. And so now being stuck with the 22 version of her at 32 is just annoying.
Yeah, and that's okay.
And that's okay.
But I appreciate the grace that you give to new young friendships of just like, "Yeah, we just didn't know, we didn't fit." I don't know that I don't think I've had a fake friend for real. I didn't think such things were as prominent as I have come to know them to be.
Yeah. Well, but also, y'all know I like cutting people off quick. So like
Mhm,
it was hard to even get to the point where you're like, yeah, they were fake.
mhm.
Because usually certain signs, especially as an adult, certain signs of fickleness, I was just like, all right, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not curious about this. Just like you're not curious about people, I'm not curious about red flags in people. Like I don't see red flags and go, well, okay. Except
Mhm.
for bearded, tall,
Oh,
light-skinned men with
mm.
tattoos and other issues. I'm always way too curious about their red flags. I need to stop lying. I'm always just like, "What? Let's see what why. Let's see why. Let's see what makes you mad." But outside of that very small group of men,
Mhm.
I'm not very curious about red flags. So usually at the sign of I'm thinking now back at because as you're like saying, like, yeah, I don't know if I really know of instances of a fake friends. I'm thinking back of like there was a group of us that like hung out in one particular person. I was just like, actually we talked about this person last episode of just like a girl who does not abide by girl code.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Where yeah. And so like for me, it was like she had a very short period of time for me to be like, oh, you will leave your friends alone downtown with no ride for a man you just met. We gonna have one conversation about this. Oh, the second time. Oh, okay. You and it was just like, okay, cool. And but I was talking to a mutual friend because we all used to hang out together and they're still friends. And they were recently telling me something, and they were just like, well, but because of their childhood, I'm like, no, girl, I don't, because I don't care. I didn't care enough to find out. Like, all I know is this is what she do now, and I'm not her
Mhm,
paid therapist.
mhm.
I have other clients. I find out about their stuff, and that was enough for me.
No, but you bring up a valid point of, like, when you weed certain things out early on, when you read certain behaviors for what they are, and you can weed stuff out early on, that's how you stop from people weaseling up too close to you before you notice, or before your feelings are in a position to get, like, really hurt. Um, like I said, I didn't know like, I've had good friendships, I've had friends that I've let go of, but I can't say that I've ever had that moment where I was like, "Oh, you a fake bitch." But, again, I've seen examples of it in other spaces where I'm just like, "Oh, wow, this really be happening." Like, this actually happened with someone close to me who was making new friends, and she was calling to tell me about it, and I was just like, "This person just don't really sound like." And it
That
was something
part,
that I think kinda like what you were talking about with girl code, like, that's a for real thing. We probably could do a whole episode on just, like, what is girl code?
that might end up being half of today's episode, to be honest
It
with you.
really might be, because I think that's what makes someone like a fake friend. It's like, "Hey, we got rules and stuff for a reason here. There's a way you're supposed to be conducting yourself."
Mhm.
And if you're just like, "Damn those ways," you kinda trifling. So
Yeah. I give people grace up until the age of, like, 24. Up until 24, you still tryna your frontal lobe ain't fully developed,
Mhm,
and so I give you some grace, but after the age of 24, there's certain
mhm,
stuff we should not be out here doing. You should have had enough sit downs that you know what the code is.
mhm.
So, yeah, let's go over the girl code. Let's go over friendship code, all the codes.
Okay.
So the first thing that we gotta put on the list is, like, you do not leave your friend in compromised positions for men.
Mhm.
You don't
Right,
leave your friend in compromised positions if there is a way for you not to do that, you just don't. But
right.
especially not for men.
Right. That means if we come together, we leave together. It's simple,
Mhm.
it's easy peasy. You don't abandon anybody.
Mm.
You check on your people.
You send them your location when you meeting that guy off Tinder or Hinge or Bumble for the first time. We do not sleep with each other's exes.
Nope, not each other's exes. And we don't, and you don't flirt nor entertain somebody. I mean, they even talking to, thinking about, considering. Because that's a situation that happened with somebody I know that was trying to make a new friend. Homegirl started flirting with the dude she was kind of talking to, and she was like, "I didn't know y'all would." Heifer, why you thought he was here? You know what me and this man had going, and when she told me about it, I was like, "Girl, no, no." She told her she was flirting with him to make some other guy
Nah,
jealous.
nah,
Of all the men,
nah.
you chose the one I'm dipping and dabbing with. I was like, "Girl, that is the type of so-called friend that will fuck your man if given the opportunity, and not that he should be doing that, but."
Can I just say, so break real quick from the codes because that's reminding me of this is what like 2021 where I can't remember who it was. It was somebody in like the church world or gospel world who like was doing some interview and she was like, I don't leave no woman alone in my house. Like if it's a friend, if it's a sister, it's a cousin, they get a hotel because I'm not leaving them alone in my home. And so a lot of the older women were like, yeah, y'all young girls don't know. Y'all don't got enough life experience. But like my mindset on it was always just like, I don't know. I look at some of the older women in my life and I'm just like, yeah, but y'all also don't have boundaries. So I think y'all have a lot of trifling people in your life. And so that's why
Mhm,
y'all couldn't do that.
mhm,
Versus I think some of us just have boundaries. And so
mhm.
like our friends can be left alone with our men and it's not a
Yeah.
problem. And like I would be okay with leaving even if podcast rest, correct your speech. If the man, the word that doesn't start with an N. If the man was
Mhm.
trifling, I would be okay leaving you and Neek and Gabby alone with them.
Right.
Because even if you on some BS, I'm not worried about none of them folding. Also, all of us think each other's types are absolutely hideous, so that helps. But also,
Yeah, I just couldn't imagine. I've never had a thought around any of my friends of like, "Oh, they can't be around my man." And, like, why would that be a thing? Um, but again, like I said, with my friend, when she was telling me them red flags, I was like, "Oh, you found one of them type of women in the wild. I have never met one." Like, one that, like, I earnestly was like, "Oh, she would fuck her friends man." Like, wow. I was like, "Yeah, girl, I ain't think them type of folks really." I thought it was just in R&B songs. 'Cause I always can't help but think about, Kelly Price song, "She was a friend of mine." She used what she knew. She lied and she cheated and she left
Mhm.
me confused. But that's like you said too, though, a generational thing. Cause I know I was definitely raised that like you don't talk to your friends too much about your man. Like that whole conversation we had before we weren't supposed to have a conversation because that would lead to you
Mhm.
apparently trying to infiltrate my relationship.
Right.
Is what I was taught.
I
You
cross
don't let
all types of those old school boundaries with my friends all the time, okay? Okay? I had a friend one time I don't need to say that. That's okay. You don't need to know that. You don't need to know
Yeah, apparently
that.
talking to your friends too much about your relationship will cause them to infiltrate your relationship is what they say.
Girl, I
And I'm not I I would say that person is not your friend. So I don't know, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I do think there are some people that just out the blue get caught off guard where
Mhm.
like, no, they do have boundaries. They do have normally good relationship. This was a thing that happens. I just don't think it's common. I think a lot of times when I'm hearing about those situations, it's always some red flag stuff where you're like, girl, you should have been cut her off. Like,
Right.
what you mean? She said, oh, I forgot my card. I'ma cash app you later. $250 later, she like, "Oh, you begging for a little 250?" That's when you shoulda cut her off.
No,
Like,
right.
what is it? She didn't have to sleep with your man. That would have been the point where you shoulda cut her off.
Right. I mean, you do have to see certain things as patterns and like character traits. Like I am that person. I try not to because people do make it like you blowing something up. But I will
Yeah.
definitely take something and I'm sorry. I'm a stretch it out. Imma see if you would act this way in this situation, to me, that means that you would probably do this in this situation, or you would have a tendency to do that. You can infer things from people's behaviors on small stuff. You do not have to wait
I
on
love
it
it.
to blow up.
I am so good at emotional math, like PhD in emotional calculus because patterns, oh no, baby, that adds up to this, that adds up to this, divided by that equals that, and I don't need that. And
Have
like you
the rest
said,
of
people
my life.
will tell you that you crazy because 'cause they're like, "Well, I just feel like I don't know. I just maybe you're overreacting and maybe you."
Mm-mm.
They did trifling thing 1. I talked to them about trifling thing 1. Then they also did trifling thing 2. I pulled back. And then they came at me with trifling thing 3. And I usually don't even get to 3. But if they do, like why are we still
Mhm. Mhm.
there are I also so like I also believe in like categories and I know. But I do. I believe in putting people in categories. And
Mhm.
like to me it's okay to have categories of friends. There's some people that are just your go-to. Like I can trust you with anything. I can talk to you about anything. And also I want to say sometimes it's not even about trust. I have certain friends who I trust, I would trust with my life, but like I'm not coming to them with deep emotional problems because she got ADHD, she can't focus, and she gonna tell me to do something trifling. Like that's my ratchet friend. I love her.
Mhm.
She is down if I ever want to revert back to unhealed rest. That's gonna be my go-to. But I know there's certain topics like she don't care to talk about. It's just not her area, and
Mhm.
that's perfectly okay, and that's perfectly fine. With that being said, like sometimes you have to place folks, and sometimes people give priority to folks that really are you are a good time when I want to go out and party.
Mhm.
And we can party together. And y'all be trying to bring them into the inner circle. And they never had a full-blown conversation with them.
Yeah.
And now you done revealed deep personal dark secrets to them and this big thing blow up. And it was like, did y'all even build your way up to this friendship? You just was like, well, she been around drinking with me for 8 years, so I guess I can trust her. No, y'all have never had a full-blown conversation before.
One of my friends, he was saying, I remember him saying during COVID, he realized that his drinking friends, he had more drinks than friends.
Word. That's a thing.
Mhm.
That's a thing.
Yeah. So, no, you're right, that's the thing. People trying to bring them into the fold without, like, you haven't seen them in multiple settings. You don't realize you might not know as much about this person. All y'all do is go do this or that.
Yeah, and that's really important.
Mhm.
That's really
No, I agree. Categorizing, I like to have I have tiers. I call them more so tiers
okay.
of
Tears.
friendships. But no, I agree with you on that because people do, yeah. And then it's also like you said, knowing what people can handle. Like some friends just aren't into certain stuff or don't like to do certain things or just what have you. Some people live in distant cities and they can't keep up with everything going on in your life, you
Mhm.
know? So it just is what it is. But I think, yeah, I think having those categories set properly will keep you from feeling betrayed when someone, just
Mhm.
shows up as who they've always been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I would consider a fake friend more someone who's undercover, who done weaseled up next to you
Mhm.
for whatever reason. I have no idea what these people's motives are. Maybe because they don't know. I think they're. I don't know. I want to say there's some level of people who just like really don't notice that they're not
Oh
great.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and I think also again, we're talking about people past the age of 25. Up into 25 again, I'm giving grace just because you don't again,
You're not your best self.
you're not your best self. You haven't had a lot of experiences. Your brain isn't fully developed. But yeah, once you get past that, I do think it's a matter of one, just lack of self-awareness sometimes.
Hmm.
I think a lot of times in these situations, it's a lack of self-awareness. Because I know I have heard stories that even from the person who's telling it, I'm like, why did you do that?
Hmm.
Mm. I don't think you should have said that. Actually, that was kind of harsh. And it is like because it's themselves. They're like, "Well, but I did it because of this reason." Or like, my intentions were good. Like, I don't think the person crying at the end of the street cares a fuck about your intentions. I think all they're
Hmm.
thinking about is how much that hurt. And so I do think sometimes it is a lack of self-awareness, but I also think it is a lack of like having a moral code and deciding like beforehand, like this is my moral code. I don't cross these rules.
Hmm.
And I think because they haven't decided what their moral code is, they get themselves in situations and then they're reacting based off, okay, this is what's happening now. My brain has to think now versus I already have a moral code. So it don't matter. You put me in this situation, my moral code at the end of the day is always going to be I'm not throwing my people under the bus. My moral code is always going to be I'm not putting them in vulnerable situations. And so even when you throw something at me, because I know that's what I operate out of, you can't really catch me slipping too much.
Hmm.
Versus when people don't decide that beforehand, they get in situations and all of a sudden they just trying to keep up pace with folks and they be doing stuff and then later look stupid and crazy and then try to figure out how they have to justify it.
This is very real. You're absolutely right. Having a code, which comes with like developing some self awareness,
Mhm,
understanding your values. But I think this also brings us back to girl code
mhm. I
because
get
it is
you.
essentially a moral code amongst women and how their friendships and relationships are supposed to go.
Mhm.
I wouldn't even just say friendships, relationships in general, because it's just
Mhm.
like, even if we coworkers, I feel like it's certain stuff you're not supposed to do.
Mhm.
So let's see. I'm like pulling up a list because I'm curious. One on here says share your tampons, even if you're frenemies.
I you know, enemies got different codes for me, so y'all do what y'all want.
well, let's well
Sounds
let's
like they
make it
caught you
okay.
slipping, homegirl. Sounds like a personal problem to me.
So we, anywho, what do you think about this one? Don't make her choose between you and her partner.
Yeah,
It's not an ideal position to put.
it's not an ideal position to be in because I want to say yeah, just because I'm like my crew, I can't see
Yeah.
us ever being in a situation where that will be a thing. So it's easy to say, yeah, but I'm like, no, there are some situations though that are, not ideal. And
Mhm.
Well, oh, so hold on. Hold on. You know what? I actually was in this position before.
Mm.
I was really close. Someone who was my best friend at the time. A big part of there was a lot of things. And y'all have heard me talk about this friendship. Side note. So have you seen the TikToks where about the Roman Empire where you go to a man and ask them how often do they think about the Roman Empire? And they're like every day. And then I
Mhm.
saw someone make a female one. They're like, well, what was the female's Roman Empire? And there was like that one best friend that they no longer have. And I was like, they are correct. Because I missed the hell out of that woman. Random things happen. Anywho, was my best friend and we had to separate. We were growing in very, very different ways, but a big part of it, she had got into a very toxic relationship where this person jeopardized her career. This person was like messing up her finances. This person once texted me cussing me out about some like random stuff because I was like, yo, I'm scared for your safety with this person. Like I offered her to come move down. She was out of state. I was like, yo, come live with me. I'll move the baby girl because I was me and my daughter. I was like, she can move her stuff. I move my daughter in my room. You can have the second bedroom. I'm
Mhm.
concerned for your safety. I need you to get down here. It was emotionally abusive.
Mhm.
And I was very concerned. This man called me, threatening me. This man cussed me the F out. She ended up really messing up her career, all this stuff. And I didn't ask her to like choose me or him, but I distanced myself because of him.
Mhm.
Because I said, I can't watch you continue to make these decisions. And
Mhm.
also now they're threatening me and you're okay with that.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I guess I kind of have to say, like, I'm on the fence about that. It wasn't a decision. It wasn't a like, girl, choose me or him, but it was a like, if you're
Right.
choosing to be with this person, I can't be in your life because this person is causing destruction in all areas and you don't care.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say, yeah, that's definitely I think what's more likely to happen is that people just kind of distance themselves than saying like, "Oh, choose me or this person." The friend
Hmm.
is more likely to kind of back off because by that point, you know enough to know that that's what they wanna do,
Hmm.
and there's no sense in getting in the way of that and just kinda because 'cause I've had that happen before with a friend where they were just not to that level, but just, like, they were in a relationship that was causing people to back up. It was
Hmm.
making it unpleasant to be around her where it was just like, "Girl, I'm good. Nah, we don't wanna come over." You know?
Hmm.
Like, "Nah, and it's not that no one tried to tell her, it just which is a red flag to the ladies, like, if you're in a relationship that is causing your friends to back away,
Hmm.
look into that. Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes maybe you fall in love and grow in a certain direction and what have you, and it's all that, but if your friends are backing up off of you due to your relationship or who you're with, that is definitely a red flag.
I agree. I agree. And it is one of the topics we talk about. We probably need to have Danny on the episode for this because
Mhm.
it does get to that tricky point of like, I don't want to abandon you if you're in this relationship and it's getting dangerous. Where do we reach that level of how much can I tolerate as somebody that loves you? And how can I support you while also knowing my limits?
Mhm.
So Danny, I'm sure you're listening right now. You send us a blurb. You send us a you send us a good clip for us to repost after.
Yes, we can, yeah, drive this point home. Okay, so the next one, avoid talking poorly of women you don't know. I mean, yeah, that's pretty solid. If you don't know somebody, maybe don't talk crap about them. But I would also add, like, if somebody's talking a little bit too hard about their ex or something, like that last chick they were with, you are not to join it. You probably shouldn't be with that guy, but also don't join in because you're gonna
Mhm.
be the fool. I promise you, you're gonna be the fool before long if you're joining in on that type of conversation. So,
I would file this one under don't laugh at another woman's pain.
mhm,
Don't laugh at
mhm,
another woman's pain. I hate it so much. So I don't watch reality TV, but I be seeing the clips all over social media and you'll see like a woman be like, and that's why he threw her out because he knew what he had. And a couple seasons later, who get thrown out?
yep,
Don't
yep,
laugh at another woman's pain.
mhm,
Karma like to spin the block.
yep.
And also I think there's a lot of times you don't know what's going on behind the scene. And the universe just be like, "Oh, okay. You thought that was funny. Let me
Mhm.
throw this in your life and see how it happens." So don't laugh at another woman's pain.
Mhm. I like that one. That's no, that's solid. Cause you're right. It's just bad karma on top of everything else. Don't compete with each other.
I do agree with that.
Don't compete with each other.
Hmm. And the way I look at that though is like there's no way that Ashley has a parenting blog, a parenting podcast that I'd be like, well, I think my daughter's just hilarious. I'm going to create my own parenting podcast and blog. And I'm going to, there's no, let your friend have their shine.
Mhm. That's definitely an important one too. Celebrate your friends is definitely girl code. Don't hate on their things. Support their
Hmm.
things. Don't ruin their moments. Because those are things people really have to
Mm-hmm.
like look into. If it's your big day, your big thing, and you have those people who find a way to either make it about themselves
Mm-hmm.
or leave out some major integral part, they show up the last 2 minutes, like those, and they know it was important to you that they be there. Like those are things that really those are big red flags.
I agree. Like, don't announce your pregnancy at her wedding.
I always crack up when people be like, "Girl, I will die at your funeral." Play with
Mm,
me.
Look, I don't understand stuff like that.
No.
Why don't y'all got
Yeah.
home training?
Yeah. No. There's the people can't be doing that for real. I don't want to believe that anyone has done
They
that.
are. They are. They are.
I am appalled by this. So, but I'm also like, again, as the person being proposed to, you don't know that he's doing all this. So
But
I would
you
be
also can be like, "Oh, okay, baby. No, 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 no. This is
no,
not
that
the
no,
time."
right, you're
You
right.
don't have to dance after. You don't have to
Right.
like
I feel like that would be me. Like I would be so embarrassed, pissed off. Like, sir, if you don't get your ass up off this, oh my god, I would be so embarrassed.
but now, talking to you about this, now you just like unlocked a new fear for me. So now
Girl, I
now
feel
once
like
men
what
make
is
it
that?
toward
Nope.
past the 6 months, I gotta be like, so I just want to throw this out here. Don't you ever,
I need
ever
to give you my list of absolutely nots.
make sure my nails are done that day. First of all, let's start there. Let's start there.
Number one.
Two, are we at an event for somebody else? Okay.
I already
Okay. That's
said
the first sign. This is not our moment. This is not our time. We should not do this.
I've already said I have better not be in front of an audience. If I walk into a room and it's not my birthday and my friends and family are standing in front of me with cell phones in my face,
The
absolutely, I'm
the
walking
way I
right
look at it is if you propose to me in front of an audience or like a stadium full of people or like yeah, anything like that, my family, you don't know me well enough to marry me. That's what you're telling me. That you have spent this amount of time with me and still if you don't know me by now,
out.
you will never ever get to know me because there's no way. There's
Mm-mm.
no way that you have been dating me for at least 3 months and thought that was a good idea.
Mhm.
Anyways, where were we?
So yeah,
We
hell
done
no.
got mad on imaginary
Right.
scenarios.
Right. All right, girl code. Yeah. So no, let your girls have their moments. Even if, by accident it starts to happen, you do your best to backpedal up out of that and you apologize profusely. Okay.
Mhm. Another one, I would say confront your friends in private.
Mhm.
Confront your friends in private. And some people might disagree with me that, but I definitely have had friends be wrong in public and I still be like, okay, 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 girl, let's get to the car. Let's get to the car. Let's get to the, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to edit this part out. But I had a friend who got triggered. Somebody
Mhm.
had posted something on Facebook and she got triggered. And it was a serious trigger. Like they knew. And I was and I can't remember why I was in on it, but I somehow got dragged in on it. And I was like, All I'm saying is that what she said about the family. I'm like ignoring, and then I had to call her on the outside and be like, "Girl, okay, you can't make fun of 3-day-old babies. That baby ain't did nothing. That baby ain't did nothing. I'm supporting you because they murdering you in these comments, but I need you to know we can't make fun of that. We can't make fun of babies. We can't wish. We can't wish the things you're wishing on that baby. On that baby."
Oh my lord. Yeah.
Yeah, she was very triggered. But yeah, so I definitely have been in situations where my friends have been wrong in public, and I have been like, okay, where's the silver lining on this that I can back? But then in
Yeah.
private, we had that conversation of like, girl, you can't do that. Like, that's not
Yeah.
appropriate. Also, not only that, but like, I'm also thinking like, if you my homegirl, I'm not about to embarrass you in front of other people.
Mhm.
I don't care how mad we get.
Mhm.
I'm gonna shut down in public. Now the conversation me and you have afterwards, we
Mhm.
sisters, we'll have it after in private. But we don't embarrass our friends out in public.
Mhm. Mhm. And we don't let our friends be embarrassed in public if we can.
If we can help it.
If we can help it. That's like I said, if we can help it. Every time you do, "Hey, girl, you got something right there," or, "Hey, girl, you're looking like this," or, "You said that," or, "You did." If we can help it. Celebrate your friends. When they got stuff going on, go to their stuff. Like,
Mhm.
support them in their things. I had a friend, well, have a friend, I just don't live as close anymore, and she doesn't do as much anymore. She's a model. I'm going to her shows.
Mhm.
I'm there. "Hey, girl." She was like, "Girl, I got this one picture and this one magazine." I scoured Atlanta to
Mhm.
buy that magazine because dang it, girl, you in this on one of these pages. That's
Yeah.
the stuff.
Especially your creative friends, because I think people they find it easier to support more traditional routes. It's like,
Mhm.
you graduate from college, let me come down to the celebration. You're an accountant now. Good for you, girl. Let's go ahead. But like, when it comes to creative works, people don't like to celebrate you till they see other people celebrating you. And sometimes y'all friends might not be saying stuff, but that hurts.
Mm.
Especially when they see you posting about Beyonce every 5 minutes and Beyonce don't know you. But your friend been in the studio recording, sends you tracks, you just thumbs up it. Like, support your people because they see you supported other people and other things.
And also in the way that you would wanna be supported as well.
Mhm.
And, like, no, everybody's not the same, but, like, if you have, because like, I think about this too, like, people have different levels of participation in certain things,
Mhm.
but sometimes, like, it's like, if you know you got that friend and no matter what they do, they always gonna come
Mhm.
through to your thing. They're always gonna blah, 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 like, return that.
Yeah.
Even if you just showing return that favor of, like, when you especially, again, when you know you have those people that's like, "Dang, you always showing up for me. You always above and beyond." Make it a point to show back up for them, like, put it on shit, write it down,
Mhm.
because, like, this is like making deposits into your friendship.
Yes. Even when things aren't your category per se, there's other ways you can support them.
Mhm.
There's other ways you can support them. Maybe they make trap music and you're like, I am conscious rap. I am Mother Earth and Erica Badu. Okay, but can we repost their stuff? Maybe you're not, but maybe somebody that follows you is.
Mhm.
Can we give them a like? Can we give them a save? Can we, like, there's other ways that you can support. But like, even going off social media, like, yeah, go to their show. Buy a copy of their thing. They do hair. Don't ask for a discount. Let them do your hair and pay for their services. Support your friends.
That's a big one too, yeah, pay for their services just because 'cause they're your friend. Don't do them like that. That is really trifling.
It is so trifling, especially people who expect things to be free.
Yeah, that's not cool, man. Like, just don't do it. Like, if they wanna give it to you free, fine, but your default setting should not be like, "Girl, so I can get a copy of your book."
Hmm.
No, you want to go buy it, you want to give your dollars to their product. Like, just do that. Oh gosh, people are funny. Don't let anybody talk crazy about your friends in front of you, and I'm not even this. I don't know. I don't even know if it's always like, do you need to jump in and defend them? But you certainly shouldn't be adding to it. You certainly shouldn't be participating in it. But yeah, I would argue to not even allow it to happen in front of you. Like,
I
because if
agree.
someone was, yeah, talking crazy about one of my friends in front of me, I would be quick to be like, I'm sorry, no, you're not going to do that here.
I agree. I agree.
Whatever
And
y'all got going on, it's not about to, you're not doing this in front of me.
I do want to throw in, I know that's not everybody's personality. I know some people are like, I don't even defend myself. I get you, but like, can you remove yourself from the situation and like just
Mhm.
don't make it be a thing where it seems like you thought what people were saying and doing was okay.
Mhm.
Well, so going away from the list, I think it kind of goes into one of the things we said. When trying to spotlight someone who is a fake friend, is those people who kind of take your pain for a joke. People that don't take your pain seriously and then tell you that's who they are or it's not a big deal. There could be things that are not, my friends always have stuff that I do not think is a big deal. But because it's a big deal to them, I'm like, all right, it's a big deal. That might not have hurt me. That might not have been something that I would have been like, I thought it was
Mhm.
funny. But when you see that something is like hurting your friend, that's not something to make a joke out of. That is not something to, and I'm thinking about more seriously because I know of a situation where they took something that happened to this person and like made it a whole nickname for them after the person has said, like, yo, I'm not okay with that. Like, actually, I really, really don't like that. And they're like, we've been saying this now for this long. And the person, because I guess it's something that was running on from like childhood, and they're like, yeah, but actually, that is actually really painful for me, and I don't like it. And when y'all was doing it back then, it was hurtful,
Mhm.
and it was just kind of dismissed. That's one of those things. Like again, to me, it's not one of those like, well, I just because I know her for 8 years, and that's just how she is.
Mhm.
That's one of the again emotional math. Let's add the fact that you know that this hurts me, and you continue to do this repetitively in front of strangers, in front of people I'm just meeting. So they now think that this is okay.
Mhm.
A plus B equals C.
Yeah. Making jokes out of your pain. Absolutely not. And then calling you sensitive for pointing it out or trying to let them know.
That's just a word that now just makes my ears kind of perk up. Like, whenever I'm like, I don't know, they're just being sensitive. I'm just always like,
Mhm.
mm, what exactly are we talking about over here? Because first of all, sensitive is relative.
Yeah.
If a person says that they don't like it and it hurts them, they don't like it and it hurts them. I really don't understand how much deeper do we need to go into that.
I agree. Yeah. But yeah, guys, that's all we have for today on fake friends and the girl code. I guess we talked about that.
We have somehow also entered the girl code. Big friends in the girl code.
Matters. It matters.
Well, we hope you guys found today's episode helpful. We'll have a new episode for you guys next Sunday. As always, follow us at She Wolf Alchemy. That's on TikTok, that's on Instagram. And you can check out the website www.shewolfalchemy.com. And other than that, bye.
Bye.